Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 18th of August 2022 and the market is relatively down, and the reason why it is down is because of the FOMC minutes are out. The FOMC meeting did actually take place on the 27th of July, so ideally this should not have had an impact in the stock market and in the cryptocurrency world. So what happened is the actual meeting did actually take place on the 27th of July, but the official reports are out only earlier today, and that is one of the reasons why the price of cryptocurrencies has gone down. Apart from that, even the UK's inflation numbers are out. So in today's episode, we are very briefly going to be discussing the UK's inflation numbers, which is at 10.1%. What I would recommend you guys to do is go to the Office of National Statistics website, look at the information only from that website. I'll go ahead and explain why that is the case. And regarding the Federal Reserve Board, there is also a website which gives loads of useful information on what is inflation and how does the Federal Reserve actually calculate the inflation. So I'll be discussing that in today's episode. I'll also discuss if Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. Now straight off the bat, I don't think so that Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. We'll discuss a video which is released by Cointelegraph, and it has Stephen Lupka from Swan Bitcoin, and we'll try to discuss what he has mentioned in that video, and I'll talk if I agree or disagree to it. Now personally, don't think that Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation, and looks like stablecoins is turning out to be a hedge against cryptocurrencies, which is not a good thing. And in today's episode, we're also going to be talking two positive news about Crypto.com. Now, like Binance, which has had a fantastic year in 2022, looks like Crypto.com is also having the best year in 2022. And the news is regarding Canada and United Kingdom. And regarding UAE, I have two positive news as well. One is about 21 Shares, a massive giant from Switzerland. And they have hired new employees and they plan to expand in the Middle East. And the second news is more to do with Web3 technology. So there are two companies called as NMKR and NewTek Digital Limited, which I believe they are from London, and they have an office in Dubai as well. What they plan to do is they plan to have a partnership and they want to bring real life assets into Web3, and why that is a brilliant news for Dubai. So lots to talk about in today's episode. So welcome everyone, it's 8 you're in Dubai and you're listening to Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes in the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and Middle East, in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi and Metaverse. This is followed by Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Gulf Standard Time. And tomorrow, that is Friday, we have an episode on Metaverse Everything, where we solely focus on Metaverse. And guys, if you are in Dubai and are currently banking with Emirates NBD, yesterday, Emirates NBD went live on LinkedIn, and they have some massive plans so far as Metaverse is concerned. And if you are a startup or offering services regarding Metaverse, please check out the episodes that I'm going to be releasing tomorrow. And the format for Metaverse Everything podcast is completely different. What I tend to do is I also tend to publish a daily and a weekly report via my LinkedIn profile. And my LinkedIn profile is in the show notes below. Alternatively, what you can do is go to my website www.blockchaindxb.com and also look for blogs under the crypto blog section. Or you can also go to the Medium website and just type in Blockchain DXB. So let's kickstart today's episode. Now today is the 18th of August 2022, and ever since the FOMC meeting's minutes were out, the prices of cryptocurrency started going down. And what I did not like is a lot of mainstream media are trying to manipulate this news. And they are saying that the Fed is planning to increase the hike in the near future, maybe increase it by a lesser percentage. Now ideally, this should not be breaking news or surprising news because all the information is going back to the 27th of July. So mainstream media should actually be trying to calm people down, but that's not the case. Now going back to the cryptocurrency market, the global crypto market is at $1.12 trillion, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 2.21%. the total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours, and it is up by $73.10 billion. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 9.49%. The total volume in DeFi is currently at $5.65 billion, and DeFi accounts for only 7.73% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. The volume of stablecoins is still worrisome, and it is only at $66.22 billion, and stablecoin accounts for 90.59% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. With the merge date getting closer and closer to us, I was reading a report earlier today that it says that now the merge date could happen between the 13th and 15th. Initially, the merge date was supposed to be on the 19th, then it got pulled ahead to 15th, and now there are talks about it being between the 13th and 15th. So what I'm going to be doing is, for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be comparing Bitcoin with Ethereum, and to answer the massive question, does Ethereum flip Bitcoin? In this particular episode on Crypto and Coffee at 8, I'm only going to be looking at three factors, that is the market share, 24-hour volume, and the dominance of Bitcoin and Ethereum. The market share of Bitcoin has gone down, and it is currently at $447 billion. Ethereum has marginally gone down as well, and as of today, 18th of August, the market share of Ethereum is $225 billion. The 24-hour trading volume, though, of Bitcoin is at $30 billion. As a matter of fact, in the next couple of hours, it might go to $31 billion. Ethereum's 24-hour trading volume is at $20 billion. Now, if you look at the dominance of Bitcoin, that has marginally gone down below the 40% mark, and it is at 39.91%. And Ethereum's dominance is steady at 20.10%. And a few days ago, I had asked you guys a question. When was the Ethereum's dominance percentage the highest in the history of Ethereum? And the answer is back in 2017. And needless to say, that was when the whole ICO craze thing happened. Now let's look at the price of the king of all kings, Bitcoin. It is currently at $23,327. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by minus 2.47%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by minus 2.40%. Ethereum is still hovering around the $1,800 mark. It is currently at $1,838, and it is down by minus 1.97%. And since the last 7 days, and it's gone down to 0.63%. Binance Coin is also down, and is currently at $308. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 3.53%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 6.86%. The big news circulating right now in UK and also in US is the inflation numbers. Let's start with UK inflation numbers. In order to find out the official information, I would strongly recommend you guys to go to the Office of National Statistics website. Do not look at any mainstream media. What they do is they put out the right numbers, but they add their own commentary. And because you're listening to the commentary, you are directed in the direction that the mainstream media wants to portray. Rather, look at information from first source. The Office of National Statistics website did release the CPI numbers, and it states that the inflation number is currently at 10.1%. It hits the highest double digits for the very first time since 1982. So definitely not good. But if you follow me on LinkedIn, I've also provided the link directly from the Office of National Statistics website, which actually tells you what is inflation. And I'm telling you guys, if you were to ask 10 people from the cryptocurrency world, what is inflation? No one will give you the correct answer. So go to the website. The link is in my LinkedIn profile. It actually explains how the Office of National Statistics calculates what is inflation. They also have a second section called as how to use the calculator, so you yourself can calculate how the inflation is calculated. And they have a third section called as further information. The entire article is literally 1 page long, but I would strongly recommend you guys to go ahead and read through it. Then if you compare it with mainstream media, you would understand the total difference between the official numbers and the information by mainstream media. Now from US, the FOMC meeting is out. The Federal Reserve Board released the FOMC meetings minutes, and they usually do it after a month. I really am not sure why that is the case. If you have been in the cryptocurrency space and looking at inflation numbers directly from the Federal Reserve Board, this should not be an absolute surprise at all, because this is something which is already discussed on the 27th of July. As a matter of fact, if you go to YouTube, go to Federal Reserve Board's website, there is an entire video where Jerome Powell goes ahead and explains the decision in increasing the interest rate. And in that video, he actually mentioned that they're planning to increase the interest rate in the next coming months. So technically, this report should not be an absolute surprise as well. But once again, guys, go to the Federal Reserve Board website, look at the report, and then in my LinkedIn profile, I've also provided a link from the Federal Reserve Board website, which also talks about what is inflation. So read through the information directly from the first source. The link also says how does the Federal Reserve Board evaluate changes in the rate of inflation. So my recommendation for today is go to the Office of National Statistics website, read through how they calculate what is inflation, then go to the Federal Reserve Board website, read through it how inflation is calculated, and then make up your own mind rather than watching mainstream media who add their own commentary, cherry-pick information, which most often than not is fake news or incorrect. And President Biden did actually in one of the videos said inflation numbers is 0%, which is fake news and absolutely incorrect information. So the big question is, where does Bitcoin fit in? Is Bitcoin a hedge against inflation? Now, based on the data that I've been looking at for the past 6 months or so, stablecoin seems to be offering a hedge against inflation for cryptocurrencies. But going back to the question, is Bitcoin a hedge against inflation? Cointelegraph has put up an excellent YouTube video where the host actually did ask brilliant questions, but the guest, who is Steven Lutka from Swan Bitcoin, did not give any correct information. Now, he did try to explain what the definition of inflation is, which is partly correct, and he was linking everything to the monetary supply, comparing it to cash to physical assets, which does make a little bit of sense, but he did not answer the basic question, how Bitcoin is a hedge against inflation. The only thing in the interview he said, if you were to have bought Bitcoin before the monetary supply, where the Democrats printed in excess of trillions of dollars of money, then your Bitcoin value would have been high. Now that is not a good explanation. Instead, what he could have done is, Lynn Alden has an excellent article on their same website by Swan Bitcoin called as A Look at the Lightning Network. Now in that article, she does make some real valuable points on inflation, on how Bitcoin does actually act as a hedge against inflation. So what Steven Lutka should have done, he could have literally read through that report and just shared some of those points in the interview. But again, the interview is not that great. That being said, the interviewer did actually ask some brilliant questions. Unfortunately, Steven Lutka did not give the right information. Based on the last 6 month data that I've been tracking, stable coins is acting as a hedge against inflation for cryptocurrencies, which does not seem right. And what is really scary is that the stable coin volumes have been ridiculously low. Apart from it being ridiculously low, stablecoin usually accounts for 90% or sometimes 94% of the entire crypto market. And this is definitely not good, because this just makes a perfect use case for central bank digital currencies to start issuing CBDCs. Now, Lightning Network, not blockchain, is slowly gaining momentum. The big question is, do we need blockchain protocols such as Ethereum, EOS, Solana, if Bitcoin with Lightning Network is adopted by the whole world? Again, guys, if you want to read through some information, go through Lynn Alden's article, which is mentioned in the show notes below. And one thing which I talked about yesterday is that CoinShares, when they published a weekly blog, they did actually not mention about Ethereum, but what they did mention about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin's outflows was not looking that good. It totaled $21 million last week, and this is the second consecutive week of outflows in Bitcoin, so that is definitely not looking good. Now, with the Ethereum merge date coming closer, I really want to release a couple of episodes discussing if Ethereum flips Bitcoin. Now, moving on to next news about Crypto.com, and both of the news are extremely positive. The first news is from Canada. Crypto.com has recently announced that it is the first global cryptocurrency platform to have signed with OSC, that is the Ontario Security Commission. Definitely brilliant move. If you do want to find out the actual source of information, go through the Crypto.com website. Chris Masalak, who's the CEO, has mentioned a blog. And the second news is from UK. And this, I believe, is a massive news because Crypto.com has also announced that they have received registration approval at crypto asset business from the UK Finance Conduct Authority, also called as FCA. And I've had a little bit of stint working with FCA and working with Office of National Statistics. And trust me, these are, if not one of the best authorities in the world. So getting an approval from FCA is a massive, massive deal. And this is truly a significant milestone for Crypto.com. Now guys, let's look at news from UAE. So the first news is that 21 Shares announces new hires and expands to the Middle East. So let's try to look at what is 21 Shares. 21 Shares makes investing in digital assets as easy as buying shares using conventional broker or bank. So investors can purchase the crypto ETP, that is exchange traded product, easily, safely, and at complete security in a regulated framework on the 6 Swiss exchange in USD, Euro and Great British Pounds, BX Swiss in Switzerland francs, Börse Stuttgart in Euro, DB, etc., as well as Wiener Börse, that is from a Vienna-based exchange in Euro. It is the most expensive suite of crypto exchange-traded products available on the regulated European exchanges. And 21 Shares was founded in 2018, and it is led by a team of talented entrepreneurs and experienced professionals from the asset management and banking industry. It is headquartered in Zurich, and the company has launched several exchange-traded products such as HODL and Bitcoin ETP over the past years. So this news is more to do with institutional investments. What they announced is the addition of 3 new hires across Europe and Middle East, but I'm only going to be talking about news that is linked to Middle East. So Sharif Al-Haddad, he's been hired as the head of Middle East. Sharif Al-Haddad joins 21 Shares as the head of Middle East based in Dubai, UAE, where he will lead the 21 Shares market expansion in the region. And Al-Haddad previously served as the head of asset management at the Al Mal Capital, and before that he was the managing partner of Pearl Capital Management and led the asset management division of EFG Hermes for over 13 years. And if you go through his LinkedIn profile, his profile does look extremely strong, and he does have an extensive experience in the financial services sector across the Middle East and a broad set of capabilities and networks. And Al-Haddad holds an accounting degrees from the American University in Cairo. So definitely looks like a promising year for 21 Shares, and they are targeting institutional investors. The next news is about NMKR and NewTek. So let me try to break down what NMKR is and what NewTek is. So the news is that leading blockchain technology provider NMKR has partnered with NewTek Holdings to bring real-life assets into Web3, beginning with prime Dubai real estate projects. So the website for NMKR is nmkr.io. That is N for November, M for Mother, K for Kite, R for Roger.io. They also have a token, and the token symbol is $NMKR, which is a utility token that connects the NMKR ecosystem. It enables the verification of NFT projects, helps to prevent fraud, and enables community governance. And it is built on the Cardano blockchain. And they want to create Web3 infrastructure to empower solutions for real-world utility. So it's going to be an interesting project. Now let's look at what NewTek is. The website for NewTek is newtekdigital.co.uk, and it is an independent film production committed to materializing and developing creative projects of collective and individual talents. And through that collaboration, the aim is to explore, inspire, and change perceptions from the UK that captivates audiences from around the world. So the news between NMKR and NewTek is that they have signed an agreement to launch a host of NFTs backed by commodities and real asset on the Cardano blockchain. And NewTek is initially focusing on major real estate projects in the Middle East, principally Dubai, after it recently entered into a strategic partnership with the Singapore asset manager Stratus Capital. NewTek, with its new partner, aims to open 2 of the biggest asset classes to the masses by jointly developing real estate projects and commodity trading utilizing blockchain and Web3 technology. So definitely good news. It'll be really interesting to see what digital asset class they're planning to bring to the UAE. Definitely a brilliant move given the hype surrounding Web3 technology and NFT. And ambitious projects such as this helps make Dubai to become the world leader in Web3 technology. So that's all for today, guys, on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please follow this button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover some top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. This is followed by 2 news and information related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East from the cryptocurrency world. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by David who asks, how does Lightning Network work? David, unfortunately, I won't be able to go into the details of how Lightning Network works because it'll be better off to explain it via a presentation or something. What you can do is go to my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com, and on the very first page, you will see basics of Bitcoin. And I do plan to put up a video on Lightning Network. At a very basic level, David, how it works is, let's say, if you and me want to use Lightning Network, what we need to do is we need to open up a channel. When we open up a channel, we need to deposit certain Bitcoins. This is again at a very basic level explanation. So let's say, for instance, you deposit 1 Bitcoin, I deposit 1 Bitcoin. I'm just giving the random numbers. What we can do is, we open up a channel between us, then we can make back and forth transactions. Now think of it, let's say when you go to a bar, you open up a bar tab, you keep on making back and forth transactions, and at the end, you pay the bartender. This works exactly the same thing. So we can make back and forth transactions between each other. When we decide to close the channel, then the transactions that we have between us gets uploaded onto the Bitcoin blockchain. That is essentially how Lightning Network works at a very, very macro level. What you can do is you can also go to YouTube and look at Peter Woolley, who has given a technical explanation on how Lightning Network works. If you look at Lightning Network, it does plan to solve the scalability issue. It also tackles the security issue, and it also makes Lightning Network accessible to individual users. So Lightning Network, not blockchain, David, is actually gaining a lot of momentum. If you are based in Dubai, David, what I would recommend you to do is, this Saturday, there's a meetup in Dubai Marine Plaza, and the meetup is called Crypto with Coffee, which is originally hosted by Anish Mohammed, who's the Chief Technology Officer from Panther Protocol, one of the OGs in the space. And he did actually review the orange paper of Ethereum. And there are a couple of OGs in the space, such as Anton, who's the head of Zilliqa, Marcos, who's the podcast lead from XT.com, a cryptocurrency exchange in Dubai. And this event called Crypto with Coffee is hosted by Sam Lai at one of the most beautiful places in Dubai, in Marine Plaza. And Sam Lai is also the CEO of Meta Incubator. So if you're free this weekend on Saturday, the event starts at 5 p.m. and we are going to be discussing Lightning Network. As a matter of fact, we're also going to be discussing Ethereum merge. So there are a couple of topics that we plan to discuss. That is Ethereum merge, what impact it has, and we're going to be focusing more on the technology as opposed to the actual price. And there are some other projects such as Hypersign. We're also going to be talking about our digital identity, some really, really cool projects. And we'll also be discussing Lightning Network. I plan to make a presentation on Lightning Network, but it'll be better off, to explain it with the screens. Alternatively, David, what you can do is on YouTube, go to Andres Antonopoulos, one of the greatest educators. He has brilliant videos explaining what Lightning Network is. And Lightning Network, not blockchain, is slowly gaining momentum, not just in the Bitcoin space, but also in the entire crypto community as well. So that's all for today, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXB. In case if you guys have any feedback or suggestions, please drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. You can also check out my website, that is www.blockchaindxb.com. And tomorrow, guys, it's a Metaverse Everything podcast, and the website will be updated in area2071.com. And if you like listening to this podcast, please follow this podcast, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes under Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East from the cryptocurrency world. What you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions about Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. Thanks so much for listening, guys, and see you guys in tomorrow's Metaverse Everything podcast. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.